two meetings against Rutgers. How do you think he fits in against Rutgers in particular?
Well, Isaiah's a big part of our team. I think he fits very well with the group. We're happy to have a healthy Isaiah. I know he's looking forward to the matchup just like his teammates.
Is there anything you think that he could do in particular against Rutgers?
Just be himself. Everything that he's going to display out there on the floor will be pretty much within the dynamics of the team basketball. We're happy to have him out there playing. Looking forward to it. I know he's excited about this Big Ten tournament play.
After the way Colin played in the second meeting at Rutgers, the one in Piscataway, is that something that you maybe consider when you're looking down the bench, playing a team the third time, asking yourself kind of who's done well against that team specifically?
Well, I'm considering looking at each and every guy that's on our roster, 1 through 15, all hands on deck. Every player that's been a part of this team has done an amazing job of sacrificing roles, and I trust that every guy is going to be ready. Depending on the time and situation, every player that's coming with us will be a part of who's going to help us win this game on Thursday.
Juwan, obviously a component of the postseason is quick turnarounds. This week it'll be back-to-back games potentially. Next week, 2 and 3 days. What do you like about that format? Obviously, you did well in the Bahamas with it. You got experience with it from the NBA.
Well, I only experienced it one time, so I'm still inexperienced. This will be my first Big Ten conference play, so I'm looking forward to it. We're not changing anything, just manage it the way how we plan on doing it as we prepare for practice. But the first thing that I'm looking at is just one game at a time, and that's Rutgers.
Do you think this group, from that limited experience, is good at kind of absorbing scouting report, kind of everything that goes into game prep in a short time?
We have a great group of guys, and I stated before, they're high IQ ball players. They look forward to competing out there, and every opponent that we faced, they did an amazing job of us game planning for our opponent. They've always been locked in and focused, always bring in the effort, the attitude of getting better. They spend a lot of time in film room because they have a coach like me who's big on prep. I'm also big on not giving too much information to cloud their brains or make them feel like they got to play, afraid to lose. I just try to keep it at a level where it's comfortable, but it's precise.
Now that you guys are set to travel for the next couple of weeks for postseason, I'm curious if you've had any discussions with your players about how to stay healthy amidst this coronavirus outbreak.
I plan on doing that today because now I've recognized by listening to a lot of the media outlets, I was always maybe this thing is kind of overblown. But then yesterday, when it was told to me that Ivy League, well, actually I heard this today, the Ivy League, they're canceling their conference play. A lot of NBA, hockey, as well as other professional leagues are now starting to address it a little bit different, and everyone's been extremely concerned. I am going to communicate this to our team about our health is the most important thing, and so we will sit down with our medical staff and see what's the best way to how to move forward with preparing for preventing anyone from getting sick.
I know some states are considering having these events be closed off to the general public. I'm curious what your stance is, what your thoughts are on that potential.
I haven't given that any thought at all.
Brandon?
How hard is it to beat a good team 3 times? And what is the confidence level like being 2-0 against them? Can they get too overconfident? Like, how do you go into that?
It's hard beating a team one time. So we don't get caught up into beating a team 3 times. We'll let you guys play that out and have fun with it. We just focused on one game. And then we have our first game, which starts on Thursday, and we're going to prepare for Thursday. Whatever happens in the past is the past.
Juwan, I'm wondering what you've seen from Franz, especially as a freshman, and especially lately, that makes you think he's ready for the big stage. going forward?
Franz is a competitor. I told you guys that when I first arrived, that, Franz Wagner is a guy who has highly skilled, that can play on the high level, not afraid of the big moments. He has that experience by playing over in Europe, where he's played in big games and played professionally for a few years. And so, yes, this is totally different where he's playing on the college level, but I know he's not going to approach it any different. He has a big brother that I'm sure can share with him some stories on his past experience that will help Franz and prepare Franz moving forward. But how Franz is developing and improving game by game. The season has gone on throughout the regular season. He's improved in practice, with his practice habits. He's always in the gym looking for ways to improve. He's just passionate and loves basketball. So I expect big things. We all do expect big things from Franz on Thursday.
Juwan, you guys have had some up and down stretches this season. I'm curious, when your team is at its best, what is it doing best? Like, what is the distinguishing characteristic that you guys are hitting?
Well, when we playing with a ton of energy, bringing the effort, 40 minutes. Yes, I'm very demanding when it comes to our guys doing their job, and they know what their jobs are. We practice it enough. We have practice habits that built the habits on what it entails of doing your job. When we're rebounding the basketball, when we have low turnover games, when we're sharing the basketball offensively, we're an elite level team. Yes, everyone expects for the ball to go in when they shoot open shots and it doesn't go in, but my mindset with our team is being mentally stable. That's when we're at our best. When shots not falling for us, make sure you go down to the other end and play defense and get stops. The ball will fall in. Trust me.
One follow-up to that. Do you still wonder about inconsistencies? Do you know exactly what you have with this team?
Well, I don't sit back and just sit at home or sit in my office and be stressed out, worrying about the worst things that can happen. My thing is I focus on controlling what we can control, and I know we can control our effort and playing with a lot of toughness and being physical out there. Then I feel great.
Going back to talking about the scouting reports and making sure there's enough info so that they're informative but not overloading people, I'm wondering how striking that balance has been for you and your staff so far this season, and if it's been a process that has kind of evolved.
Well, we've done a really good job, and I say we, meaning me and my staff, on balancing the scouting report, the film, the usage of film, on how much we watch film individually as well as together as a team, and how long we spend watching film. I'm well aware of attention spans. By having two, teenage, young boys, and I understand that you only have them for a short amount of time. You just better be direct, precise, and move on to the next. If you overload them with too much information, or I'm long-winded with my talking, then it becomes wah wah. So, we've been good at it. We've been good with it. We will, and there's always room for improvement. Not saying we're the best on how we prepare, but we always allow them to get input and see them. And I've gotten great input from our captains on, we talk about workload and how much.
Got time for a couple more, Justin, and then John.
Just your excitement, what emotions are you kind of feeling going into tournament time as a coach, first-time head coach? Is it more or less? I mean, you remember as a player, obviously, but how is it different now that you're in this role?
Well, I'm a lot older. I have more gray hair, and I have bags under my eyes, so I don't get much sleep. And it's been that way since I became a head coach. So I'm sure, it's not going to be anything different. I will not get much sleep. My mind is always working. What's the next thing? How can we improve? Or I could have done this better? Or how can I make sure that our guys understand that, what we're teaching and how we have to make it into a carryover and my brain is always working. So, am I nervous about this upcoming tournament? No.
John?
And I guess just to follow up, you said you hadn't been to this particular event. Big Ten teams have been beating each other up for a couple months now. Do you look forward to a setting where, you know, they're all in the same place battling out for a few days?
Man, let's go to the playground and play. You know, we can go to the playground. We can go play anywhere, man. In somebody's backyard. It doesn't matter. Just give us a basketball. We're gonna show up.
All right, coach, he's gonna do it.